Shalom. I'd like to say all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, those that rule well, and much salutations and blessings to the brothers around the world doing the work in truth and sincerity. This lesson is going to be going into, I titled it, "This is Not Our Rest," dealing with, the scriptures. So the first scripture I have is Micah 2:10. I'm just going to do a very short lesson. It says, "Arise and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, and it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction." Alright? Which is talking about, this society, man. Esau society, man. Alright? It's polluted. How is it polluted? Things that these people uphold, This whole societies, man, is demonic itself, When you look at symbols, so on, when you look at laws that they pass, or everything, man. You know what I mean? Like everything, man. Everything what this society upholds is contrary against the Bible, When you look up the word pollute in the Hebrew, it is for Micah 2:10. The word polluted in Hebrew is tama, which means to be unclean, become impure, to become unclean sexually, religiously, ceremonially, to defile oneself, be defiled sexually, by idolatry, ceremonially, breaks it down, man. You know what I mean? Because it lists all these things, like sexually, religiously, ceremonially. When you follow the ways of this society, man, like it's contrary against everything what this Bible upholds, man. You know what I mean? The next scripture I had was Isaiah 28 and 12. I just made this video, kind of feeling uneasy in my spirit, you know what I mean? Like see certain things that go on in our day-to-day lives, or you know what I mean, like just the experience of being in this truth, watching that movie Nat Turner, that movie Birth of a Nation, that shows that we have no power, and that shows that we're not at rest, man. We came here as as subjects, and we're still in servitude unto our enemies, We're at the we're the lowest, we're at the bottom, man, amongst these nations. You know what I mean? We have heathen who look down upon the chosen, you know what I mean? So this is Isaiah 28 verse 12, and I started at 9. Isaiah 28 and 9. "Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast." So yeah, what's the milk? Going into basic things, like history, so on, basic scriptures, showing who we are, according to the Bible, certain prophecies, certain, scriptures that describe the Israelites, whether our, like our color, proving that the Israelites are men of color or dark-skinned men, so on, you know what I mean? Like color scriptures and so on. Getting into reading the law, the Tanakh and stuff, like book of Joshua, Judges, certain things, just understand certain history, like, or certain things, like that's milk, and so on, just building yourself up, because you can't build yourself up in a year. This is a process, that's a life process, where where you build up yourself, every day. You know what I mean? You can't just build up yourself overnight and you're on and then you're on the level of the elders. You know, that won't work. You know, it says, whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here little and there little. So when you go into the Bible and you're teaching all the Bible, everything that you say and stuff, make sure that you prove it that you prove it. So you have one scripture and stuff, you have some verses, then you go some other go to other books in the Bible and stuff and break it down. You know what I mean? And so on. You know what I mean? Just make sure everything what you're prophesying or teaching unto people, make sure that you could prove it in multiple places throughout the scripture. Just don't have like one point and you're not able to prove it elsewhere or prove it in history. Make sure that you could, everything that you do, that it goes with the Bible, different places, and it also goes into history. You know? It says, for precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people. And how is he speaking to this people now? You know, this English language, primarily Hispanic. You know, you have brothers in California who teach in Latin. You know what I mean? So the Israelites, because our people once spoke Hebrew, but now we lost that. So now we're learning this truth all over again. You know, in a bastard tongue, so to speak, because we went against the Most High. We sinned against the Lord, and we were cursed. You know, according to Deuteronomy 28. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people, to whom he said, this is the rest wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest, and this is the refreshing, yet they will not hear. So what's refreshing, man? This truth, coming to the understanding as to who we are according to the Bible, that we're the children of God. You know what I mean? That we're not just niggas or descendants of slaves who never accomplished anything, but that we're God's chosen, you know, and that we're going to rule this planet in righteousness, because this society is going to be destroyed according to the Bible. You know, this society will be destroyed, and very shortly, you know what I mean, because prophecy is being fulfilled, man. When you look at things that's going on all over the world, there's many signs, and you know, everything was happening. When you hear about like a hurricane or a disaster or blood moon or like rivers turning into blood, man, all of these are prophetic signs, man. You know, so everything is happening clear as day, and you people know that the end is coming, man. Just you want to be ignorant, like what they say ignorance is bliss, right? So you people rather be in bliss, you know, than to be into reality. You know, just the Most High is gonna give you people a rude awakening, man. But the word of the Lord was Slaket, to whom he said, this is the rest wherewith you may cause the weary to rest, this is the refreshing, yet they will not hear. And who's they will not hear, man? Our own people, man, who the Most High is using us to teach our people or to warn our people on the highways and byways. But are they listening to him? Are they listening to his mouthpiece? No, man, they're not listening. So the Most High is going to judge you guys. He's going to judge the 2/3. Alright? 2/3 of his own nation. 66.6%, man. Of his own people will die according to the Bible. And how could we prove that? I'm going to get the scripture, man. Like what scripture says, precept must be upon precept, right? Let me get the scripture in Zechariah. One moment. Zechariah. Zechariah 13 and 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein, man. That's 2/3 of the Lord's own chosen, man. 2/3 of the nation of Israel, right? And 1/3 is going to be saved. And I will bring the third part through the fire. And what's the fire? The nuclear destruction. What's going to come destroy this place, man? That's the lake of fire was talked about in Revelation. Alright, and I will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. So right now the Lord is gonna try some men like silver, right? Like which gold is more superior than silver. But next but other than the gold, like the second metal to top that, to top gold is silver. So the Most High is going to try some brothers more than others, you know. And I will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, right? Which the Lord only has one name. He doesn't have all these multiple names, which his name is Yahweh. Alright? His son, and the Most High's name is Yahweh. Alright? They shall call on my name, point blank, man. It's not no Yeshua or Yahweh or Jehovah, Jah, Rastaf, none of that. None of that. He only has one name and his son, alright? Their name's one. Alright, Yahweh, while Yahweh Shai, man. Alright? They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power. Alright? I'm going to finish Isaiah 28 from where I left off. But the word of the Lord, Isaiah 28 and 13, but the word of the Lord was unto them, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here little and there little, that they may go and fall backward and be broken and snared and taken, man. That's what we do when we go out there on the highway and byways. When people come up and they state their facts, we show them if they state their facts, like we show them things according to the scriptures, man, and it messes people's head up. Like what's the scripture known as? A two-edged sword, man, which spiritually it divides. We're gonna get that, man. We're gonna get that precept, because even me reading this right now is fulfilling prophecy, man. Alright? Or if you know that when you watch other brothers' videos, or you watch us on the highways and byways, us getting scriptures and stuff, like different precepts and stuff, is fulfilling scriptures, man. Everything that we do. One moment. Slovakia, bear with me. Hebrews 4 and 12. Or start at 4 and 11. Let us labor, therefore, to enter into that rest. So what's the labor, man? Labor is to go out there in the highways and byways, to upload videos, study, pray. That's all a part of the labor, man. Lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. For the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful, and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and the intents of the heart. Neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, but all things are naked and open unto the eyes of him with whom we have to do with. Alright? So everything that we say out this Bible, man, you know, it manifests itself, man. Alright? And it outshines any damn professor who out there, or any scientist, or any so-called scholar. Any of these people come up to any of these people come up to any of the great millstone camps or whatever, is gonna get caught up according to the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yashai, man, with just pure knowledge, man, with pure holy knowledge. Alright, if you guys want to go into worldly knowledge, man, or whatever, like your little science and stuff, man, yeah, brothers and stuff in the camps who sharp too, man, on different stuff, like different science and medicine, or you know, and like science and like other little, you know what I mean? Our people, yeah, brothers who sharp in many different things, man. So you guys think you could come up to the camps and try confound us with your little worldly knowledge? That's not gonna work, man. But this video was longer than what I intended it to be, so I want to say all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yashai, and double honors to the elders, and Kwam Yashal. Shalom.